Rave it, baby.
Shush it.
Why does he gotta make me so anxious?
Shush it.
Oh, you look great. Nailed it.
Yeah, why you got a dangly thing that bumps your mic?
It don't bump it.
You know what? This is just, it's all so, I didn't mean to raise my voice. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Wow, we're starting off toxic, I guess. Are we fighting already? We just started. I feel like we should ease into it. Make fun
I
of
wasn't
Drew
fighting.
for
I was
being
saying,
dancing in court or whatever he's doing right now.
he's Bonnarooing. He's Bonnarooing. And he's being a very good mentor. He's being a very great guy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing God's work right now. For sure.
By dancing at Wook court.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily that, but like he's being a good guy right now. For sure. But
Are you feeling guilty because we made fun of him last week? What's happening right now? You just got real sincere.
Well, I mean it sincerely, but I don't know if I'm allowed. I'm saying that out loud, but I can't say why I'm saying that because I don't know exactly if I should put everybody's business out there. So I started saying that, and then I was like, maybe nobody really wants to know other people's business, so maybe I'll just let him tell his story. But yeah, beautiful.
I mean, that's
stuff.
a good way to get people to listen to next week. Patreon.com/CravenBabyPod. Tune in next week when we find out on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, right. Is Drew a good guy? Is he really good?
Was he dancing in court? Did I make fun of him?
He's definitely doing a lot of dancing. He's definitely doing a lot of wooking, whatever those guys do.
I still don't know. There's like, ever since, that's probably like the most old lady thing about me is ever since everything started splintering off, I lose all the subcategories. It's happened in music where it's like, that's not, I don't even know. That's not punk anymore. That's da-da-da-da. Like there's like these tiny little nuances of subsects of music where no, that's neo neo grunge pop rap metal. Like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I never really got into that. I was never someone who like got too big on that. Like if you like, I appreciate people. Listen, I appreciate all types of nerding out. Like if you want to dork it down, dude, you've got my full support. To dork, I love a nerd as long as they're sincere and they're doing it with their whole heart and whatever you want to be a complete dork about. Music, guns, clouds.
I think it's categorical. It's like a way to like, because that was what happened is there started being like fusion and all these different kinds of music blending together, and then people were like, well, we must classify them. Everything's got to have a box. We have to have a name for it. All that stuff. And to me, it just makes music less queer because the fluidity part of it is the part of it that's cool to me. So then it's like now you have to know the name of this very niche specific. Well,
that's crazy. That's a big part of like what Crybaby, and I don't know if you've gotten into it, but dude, that album is so layered. Like it's so great, and one of the big parts about it is that how his record label Def Jam, which he's out of now. I mean, this is his first independent work.
If y'all don't know what we're talking about Vince Staples' new album Crybaby that just came out last week.
Yeah, and he was saying basically, they wanted they wouldn't let him experiment with music. They wouldn't let him do what he wanted. Like, this is the album.
They wanted him to drop another rap album and don't get crazy, don't get experimental, and there's a lot of experimentation. What was that?
So you're a black guy, do black music kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. And he did experiment. It is a cool, very much out of his normal wheelhouse sound. And a lot of it I really liked. How about you?
Dude, I loved everything about it, dude. I've listened to it a million times. And like every time I listen to it, there's something different in it that I find like it is crazy. And I've even gotten to the point where like I'm nerding out on it to the part where I'm watching other people's like breakdowns of it and stuff, like watching reaction videos on it, and like other people are picking up other stuff. So it's like, it's just a great time. Like I love being a fan of music. I love being a fan of anything. I love being a fan of horror music, horror movies right now. Like, it is something, and I know, and we don't have to get into it, but like right now, horror movies are like really doing good with Backrooms and Obsession and like that whole entire thing. And it always is this thing, and it has always been in the horror movie audience has always been a different type of audience, but like it is always like horror movies have always done the best when the psyche of the viewers or the audience, the psyche of the audience is in some sort of peril. Like right now, during the Universal movies, or you think about all kind of different movies, like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers being about, the Red Scare, and all these different things of that Frankenstein being about science and like how science was like the incoming, all this different stuff. But like it's really interesting to be a fan of horror and horror movies, especially right now with all of this blossoming out and like being able to
here come the allegories.
What?
Oh, I'm saying like in horror, here come the allegories. I think that's part of the reason why when the psyche is being broken or challenged or devastated or any of those, I feel like you have way more of a juicier meat to blossom an allegory out of, turn a monster into whatever, capitalism, the idea, whatever it is. You can say your piece through horror very easily when everybody's like aware of what the fuck is going on,
Yeah, sure. And that's not even set in the one thing, like take Obsession right now, and you've got all these like, I guess because I'm without a different, I guess, right wing like incel dudes, oh yeah, they pretty much
the
like
manosphere, we've talked about it. Yep.
Yeah, they've pretty much like, boiled it down to, women, bitches be crazy type thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is what being in a relationship, whatever. And it's crazy how many different interpretations of something can come out and through art. And it's just an interesting time for these things to be happening. Critiques on industry, critiques on gender and relationships and all of that. It's just super interesting.
I think it's also, to your point, I think it's also people who are making films are actually being like it would before it would take somebody who has specifically experienced something and they take a personal experience and you make a movie about it, be it with an allegory or not, or just a direct documentation of what happened. And I feel like now with everything that's happening in the industry is a mirror of what's happening to the country. And so I feel like those sentiments are being said much more strongly, because now it seems like anything that's being made cool is not being made by the big studios. It's all just multimillionaires putting their multimillions together to make something they actually want to make. Like that's their form of rebellion, like the other example is I Love Boosters. I Love Boosters got pulled from so many, it hasn't even been out 2 weeks. They're already pulling it from all of these theaters so people don't watch it, just because it's basically pro-crime. Like we should be committing crime in the face of all this. And of course it is, but it looks fucking rad. It looks like it was shot in the 90s because the color is vibrant, it's not muted, it's all that, like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like a carbon copy of everything else being made currently.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I don't, I've heard of that. I've never, I'll check it out. That seems cool.
All it is it's a movie about chicks that steal clothes from a fancy designer that wouldn't hire them. And so there's a lot of subtext and racism and classism and all this other stuff, and stealing designer shit to sell to people that are poor, etc. I mean, there's plenty of allegory there, but the story is just that simple. Is this group of women couldn't get a gig for this very fancy designer, or I think that she stole some of their designs or something like that. I didn't even get to see. I'm just reading. This is the cliff notes. And of course, so they start stealing all of her shit and reselling it for super cheap.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And because it was getting some traction, now it's being pulled from the theaters, I think. I don't mean, that's, again, I'm conspiratorial. I don't know what's actually happening, but that's the reason they're saying, because nobody wanted to watch it, but everybody I know that watched it liked it. So,
dude, it's crazy. Like, how long does a movie actually stay in the theaters these days? Like, it seems like it's like 2 weeks, and then it's like on HBO or whatever.
I mean, it depends on who's making it. Like the Star Wars movie that came out it's past 2 now.
I didn't even know there was a Star Wars movie that came out.
Yeah, the Mandalorian and the baby Yoda, Grogu. Yeah,
riveting.
Yeah. I'm just saying that the big stuff, when the Avengers movie comes out, that's definitely going to be out more than 2 weeks. So yeah, I mean,
Dune 3 will be out for a while. Yeah, but then so big name studio stuff for sure will be out for a while. You know, it's wild, dude. Have you heard, like, which this isn't like anything new, but just like talking about movies and stuff. Like, it's been a long time rumored or discussed that like Steven Spielberg was like deeply involved in like different types of CIA type of like or just like covert things like within messaging and stuff within his movies, like within the noited spaces. It's like, it's something that's like been talked about a lot. And right now with like this new movie, Disclosure Day or whatever, amidst all the like the current like disclosure, I guess, whatever you want to call it, releasing of like bad paintings or and shit, pictures, fucking that people are like, I did. It's such a weird time because like you never think that you would be like even though people like believe that, still when Steven Spielberg comes out with a movie, it's usually a dope. It's an enjoyable movie. At least it's worth seeing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not like the guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He absolutely is a master of his craft. You know what I mean? But it's funny in the noited circles, like how big of a deal that is, which I think is probably a little bit like, I don't know, man. It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe now you have something. It's like you want something to be a certain way, or you just kind of like. It feels like that sometimes when like people want to knock somebody down. It feels like when they get an opportunity to do so, as soon as they like see this open door, they like have to like hammer down on that person. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like it might not be that deep, man. I just don't feel like, but it is interesting. It is interesting. The timing.
I mean, sure, and to go further with that, I mean, there's that other noited theory about the Carhartt chick at the beginning, the Carhartt chick that had a big hand in MK Ultra, and then she ends up, or her beloved ends up working for Lucasfilms, and part of the guy that spearheaded the big LSD movement in that you were talking about in the 70s when Star Wars came out. The guy that had that the best acid, the one that all of the
Timothy Leary?
yeah. No, not Leary. It was his last name sounded like an owl, Stanley Owley or some shit like that. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
Fuck. I'm so awful with names. That's really why I'm unsuccessful in this space. Is I don't remember motherfuckers' names.
Yeah, I mean,
I did. But anyways, it was like there was this chick who had the last name Carhart, who was from the family and was part of the MK Ultra. Was part of the MK Ultra movement and the experimentation and all that stuff, and then worked on the movie Star Wars. Meets her dude who was experimented on, that is now her dude. She lives in Australia, like fled, like went missing. Nobody knew where she was, and then has resurfaced only recently, living like remote somewhere in Australia, and was like she was part of the movement of pushing that LSD out with her beau, who's I think his name was Stanley Owley or something like that. It was like the kind of LSD that everybody, all of the famous people were, the Jimi Hendrix people, they were all the ones like that was the good acid.
huh? Crazy. Yeah, no, I haven't heard that, but
Owlsey, that's his name. Owsley, Stanley Owlsey.
yeah, no, I know who that is.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was his girlfriend at the time. They went to Berkeley together. He was a chemist. He was bioengineering. He was the guy that always had the acid at the Grateful Dead shows. It's like, and then so he's doing all of that. She is doing part of the family. That's, you know what I'm saying. Like all of those parts were all at the same time. Yeah, 500 grams of LSD, amounting for 5 million doses. He's specifically responsible for all that. And then his girlfriend is the chick that's part of MK Ultra. And then after they break up, she gets with the dude who was experimented on. He goes on to work for Lucasfilms and goes into fuck, can't remember. Oh shit, I don't remember. But yeah, whatever. He then the original guy this guy Owlsey Stanley, he also ends up in Australia too. So I wonder if Australia is like another place that people like to go, much like our Argentina post World War II. If Australia is a good place to go to flee from all of this shit, but
Definitely seems like a good place to get lost. They got that massive CIA base there.
oh, that actually makes more sense. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Got that massive CIA base there. Who knows?
But I was just saying it was funny that I found this in a roundabout way. It was like the thing you were talking about, I don't even months ago, where you were talking about psychedelia and how it was, it's not obviously the movement that we thought it was.
Yeah.
And it was a lot. Also, not only that, but drugging a bunch of in a moment where we really could have gotten some class consciousness, really could have gotten some, because that's with everybody being fucked up at that time. You don't get as much resistance to the Heritage Foundation. You don't get as much resistance because everybody's fucked up and partying.
That's what the whole tune out thing was like. It was like turn on, tune out, like brother. Not now. Like, wait, not that they're saying that there wasn't some very beautiful, good parts about it. There was real community built, and there's some. I mean, there is a commune in this old hippie commune in Tennessee that's still around, and they're just a cool. They sell different types of mushrooms and stuff. Really cool place. But I think it's called South Spore is the name of their mushroom, but not psychedelia. I'm sure they grow psychedelics, but it's what they sell to the public is like,
reishi and all the stuff that's just good for your body. Yeah.
So yeah, so like, so there was some good parts, but yeah, for the most part, like the whole '60s movement just totally got fucking psyoped and co-opted and fucking really bad, really bad. Here's a really crazy story. Like, so the podcast I've been listening to, it just finally wrapped up. One of the podcasts I've been listening to, finally wrapped up. It was about Patty Hearst, and I don't know if you know much about her.
I learned a bit when I went to I went to the castle because I went to like a wedding out there, and then afterwards I was like, what the fuck is it? And then I did a little bit of a deep dive, but please, by all means.
Yeah, so Patty Hearst, like, she was part of the Hearst, Randolph Hearst, empire, doing all kind of stuff. Apparently got kidnapped or whatever. Well, probably did get kidnapped, actually. Like, here's the whole thing. She was probably very much, the end of it is like, so anyway, let me start over. Okay. So she was kidnapped by this symbiotic, the SLA is the Symbiotic Liberty Association or something, some kind of leftist group that had really weird, like, fucking leftists, fucking they kill the pigs, fucking murder everybody, murder the pigs, fucking down with the government type shit, which is all good, right? But like the way that it starts, the way that they tell the story is that, like, so when she ended up, they called it that she had some sort of like Stockholm syndrome. Like, she was this, very well-to-do girl who got kidnapped, and then she started feeling sorry for him. And then she started robbing banks too, and it came out, like, do all like this different reporting and through like transcripts and through like a lot of like the court, like, it was probably probable that she didn't have Stockholm syndrome, but she also like she wasn't down. Like, there was a threat on her life. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was in a situation where it was like these people will kill me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that was the story I heard, is that was like she was like by choice. She was like caught up in arms with them. So so now you're saying through the transcripts and all this other data that she wasn't, that she was being held against her will.
Yeah, kind of like this, maybe if I get through this and I get on the other side of it, like, dude, I'll be able to tell them. But because of the media storm and like all this other stuff, like, it got whipped up into something, like, she wasn't even able to tell her side of the story because so many people had spent so long speaking for her, and she was in a situation where she had to go rob banks for these armed crazy motherfuckers and like all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, read off these, like, weird. My name's Patty Hearst. And they renamed her Tanya. Anyways, yeah, I think that's another thing that, like, really, just like Charles Manson or anything that really ruined the psychedelic and like the liberation movement was, these people just like this weird, and we still have it today, this weird mix of like people who are not credible people, like activists and so-called like politicians and what have you, like all these group of people who are super like sketchy as fuck, right? And on the other side, you have a media that so like actual like working people and like the common person really doesn't have any say in it, because all these other groups of people are in front of everybody else, loaning their voice as if they speak for the people or whatever, and it just convolutes the entire the entire thing. It convolutes it, and it makes it really unmanageable in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
but I mean, at the end of the day, isn't it like, is it moot whether she was forced to do it or not?
Well, she had to do time for it. So, like, her own opinion, what she had to say about it, her in court, her testimony, which was also against the SLA too. It wasn't like she was like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like she was like really standing up for these guys or anything. I mean, she said some good things about a couple of people, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying? It was her testimony and her in court and all these other things, like, it didn't matter because so many different people were speaking for her. So her voice was totally, in her own experience, was completely lost. And that's what
It
I feel is like
sounds.
the average person, like, this is what happens. Like, our, you take it for example, and I'll say this, like, but like, there's got to be a change in that, right? Like, we have to change. We have to stop letting people fucking speak for us. You know what I'm saying? I guess. But anyways, go ahead.
I think that's part of the reason why everybody is also. I think the amount of people on the internet talking into their phone is also a outside of the brainwashing, getting you addicted, all that other stuff. Aside from that, when you have media that you don't feel like you can trust, I think that's why so many people are just going on there and being like, well, this is what I think. Whether there's any data to back it up or not is because if you're so confused by getting information, you're just like, well, fuck it. I'll just might as well put my information out there. This is what I think. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like a way for the common man to rebel against it in a weird way, but all it really does is contribute to the noise at the end of the day, because there's no. I mean, if you're constantly trying to silence people who are actually doing the real reporting, or in the investigative, or I mean, we talked about this last week, or the other week with the Hassan Piker. Just because he made the one comment where I was like, with the atrocities that America's done, I think it deserved a 9/11 situation. I think he said that like years ago, and now it's the only thing he's having to go on this whole tour being like, I'm not a domestic terrorist because I said this one thing on a stream 4 years ago. Not to mention, in comparison to all the awful things people are actually doing, not just being said, that are not getting checked. So it's like, at the end of, I think at the end of the day, the common man is being robbed. I think that's why more and more people are going to these niche places. That's how you end up tricking dudes into being groypers and weird, you know what I'm saying, these weird corners, because they're like, here is where I feel like I'm being told the truth. I think that's why a lot of young impressionable men are being pushed into the arms of Nick Fuentes and all of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. I I don't know.
But to your
But
point,
again,
yes, I do think it's right. I think it's people where it gets so quick. It's just like, even if you take it like a small thing, like, oh, a robbery happened down the street from my house. If you start asking everyone in the neighborhood what they think about the robbery, you still haven't given us any of the fucking facts. What fucking happened? Give us
right.
the data, you know? Then everybody starts making up their own stories about what happened. And now what? How long after Patty Hearst? How long has it been? Now we get the truth. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Well, right. I wouldn't even necessarily listen. I'm very much a absorb, not observe, not absorb kind of guy. So in no way, shape, or form am I saying that this is the truth. I'm saying that this conclusion that they came. I mean, I have no idea what the truth is. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's very possible. She could have been way down with it. So I don't want it to sound like this is like, the end all be all of it. I'm just saying, relative to the conversation that we're having, this is an interesting point to make.
Sure.
And in an interesting perspective to have on the general, and this is why I say that action is the language of progress, is because the activity has to speak for itself. You can't speak. I mean, you can lie about the activity. Sure. You could say it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You can do all that. But for those who are involved in it, and for those who experience it, those who had, who had the experience of the action, amongst you, with you, they will feel it. And therefore that goes back into fucking Graham Plattner, right? Another example, it's all the time you hear in leftist spaces, fuck Graham Plantner or I love Graham Plantner or whatever. Dude, it doesn't fucking, who even gives a fuck? Here's the facts of the matter. He's giving you what he's telling you to organize and to get together and create, workspaces and places for yourself and like move forward. It doesn't really matter what he does. It doesn't matter if he's lying. It doesn't matter if he's the truth. If you go ahead and organize and put your foot forward, then you will accomplish the mission. You will accomplish the mission. And if he ain't doing what he said he was supposed to do, you can kick his fucking ass out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck him. Because he's not, he is supposed to be the go-between between you and legislation. Do you know what I'm saying? And if he ain't fucking doing the job, then fuck him. Who even gives a shit? And I have no idea. I know that there's a scandal. I have no idea what it is. It doesn't seem like too many people are interested in it or believe it or whatever. I don't really care. Whatever happens. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if he's whatever he is. He's giving you the keys. If you go ahead and fucking do that, then it doesn't matter if he's the next Fetterman or not. You organize and then you get him the fuck out.
For me, it's also just the fact that somebody in that position is saying that. Right. That to me is already an indicator. Nobody else is doing that.
Right. But he's got to do more than say it. He's got to do more than say it. And you've got to do more than let him speak it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to do the work too. Like, it's all work. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what he's like. I guess that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what the fuck he says. It doesn't matter who the fuck he is. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're just gonna, just let him speak and then not anticipate anything for it and do no work yourself, then you're putting your possession not to give your power away, to give all your power away. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, if we're talking about a society where everything's based on labor, the labor is the power right there. So that's the power is in the action. I mean, especially within this context, like,
right. That is the action which creates the progress. The organizing is the action which creates the progress. All you say is all this fucking talk. Who says what? Who gives a fuck?
It goes back to it's all noise. It's all noise.
It's all fucking noise. It's all noise. Guys, listen.
For those of you just listening right now, DJ's talking to the baby ducklings. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Get some cute pics of the baby ducks.
They're all just staring at me like, bro, what is going on? What are you doing?
They're like, you're blowing my mind right now, dude. They're little babies and they're already getting noited out. And they don't even get their fucking big feathers and they're already getting... The truth so fast. At what age do you think you should start spilling the truth? I did want to have this conversation with Drew here because he has an actual child. But when do you start telling him the truth?
Well, my kid would not be allowed in public school. If I had a kid, I'd say he would not be allowed in public school. It would have
no university, baby.
But
so you'd be a homeschool guy immediately?
I would have to be. I don't see how. I guess maybe there are people out there who are like able to like hold it in and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I can just see myself like, yeah, dude, fucking tell your class about fucking 9/11, about Tower 7. Now, what about Building 7? Ask them about Building 7. What we got to say about that?
My dad said that jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Yeah. How far away was Building 7 from the twin? It was far. It was definitely fucking here. We landed on the moon. Did we land on the moon? Yeah. Yeah, there'd be a lot of that. I can imagine.
Yeah. Has that happened to you? You guys email us. I want to know if that's happened to you. If that's happened, if you have children, you've had to check your dude. Because I don't remember who I was talking to about this the other day, but I remember when I went to school, they told us the Civil War was about states' rights.
Well, yeah.
Because I went to school in Florida, so it was like I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And my parents weren't. They weren't fucking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, was it whatever? It was a different time, but now I feel like we know so much. It would be hard. It would be hard to trust, even to subsidize.
Dude, I can't even imagine sending your kid to public. But dude, how crazy was it? Like, I don't know if you experienced this, but they go on, they talk about it's about states' rights, all this, and then they show the whole class Roots, and they just fucking sit.
Okay.
Like, what is going on? Like,
So it makes it seem like it was completely separate. Like there was this thing that was slavery, and then the Civil War didn't really have anything to do with it. And they were arguing about states' rights. No, they were arguing about states' rights and being able to make money and stuff like that. But also, if they lied about that, you know they're lying about 9/11. You know it. But should they stay in just to be socialized and learn math? I feel like math is pretty across the board.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, dude. Listen, I'm just talking shit.
Me too. I ain't got no kids. That's why I'm asking the audience to chime in.
I mean, of course, you probably you'd have to like send your kid to school, right? And just like hope for the best. But it'd be scary, dude. It's scary. I don't know how people do it. Like I want to, find homeless animals and, help them get back and then throw them back out into the wild. That's what I want to do. I want to do wildlife rehab, and that's what I want to do. And then I want to die, and not interested. Not in procreating, all that other stuff, giving a fuck, not really interested.
It's so funny because you think so far forward. I was just, this was another high thought I had the other day about how the three of me, you, and Drew are like the three witches of the past, present, and future. Like you're always thinking, anytime we talk about what's going to happen, you're always thinking 30 to 50 years in the future. Drew's always lamenting about the past. And I'm always like, well, what's happening right now? And I was like, the three of us are constantly in completely different points of time when we're thinking about shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, I called it 2027 to 2030. There will be nukes dropped. I know that. I know that for a fact. It's going to happen. It might happen. It might happen very, very soon. You know what I mean?
But the midterms, DJ, I feel like.
Exactly. And again, listen, I straight up believe that I believe in social anarchy, but that doesn't mean that I am totally against electoral politics, right?
I mean, it's still part of it. Without us participating in some way, shape, or form, that's the only way to make it more difficult for them to just blatantly take it, even though they've already done that.
So like not being woo woo about it at all. Like I'm not at all like I have no type of magical thinking that like everything's gonna be fixed. I guarantee, as bad as whoever gets in next, Democrat or Republican, is going to be a bigger clown than this clown. You think, how could that happen? I assure you, it'll happen.
I mean, we didn't think it could. We didn't think it could get this cartoony.
Exactly. So
but this weekend, they're fighting on the front lawn of the motherfucking White House.
Those Athens, Kim?
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be this weekend. Yeah.
Wow. I thought they canceled all that stuff. So just the fighting now, no music?
I don't know. I just know the UFC event's supposed to be this weekend because the only reason I know is because I'm helping a friend of mine at Warped Tour, which is also in DC, and everybody's like, oh, it's going to be a nightmare because the UFC thing's happening at the White House.
God damn. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. What time about the two people clash? What the War Tour? That's wild.
I know. It's almost like they want to fight in the streets in Washington D.C. It's almost like they're trying to orchestrate something to justify motherfucking martial law. Those people do not go together. Those people do not go together.
People to just be crazy. Yeah, on one. But
yeah.
I mean, most of the people going to the UFC fight will be flying in, right? I imagine in their fucking helicopters. I mean, right? The fucking. But I thought that there was music. Like I went to my biscuit place a couple of weeks ago, and they had Milli Vanilli on there talking about they were getting out of there. Was it Milli Vanilli part of it? I don't know what's going on, dude. I'm gonna be honest.
I thought you were doing a bit.
No, I'm dead serious. Dude, I swear I was dying laughing, dude. And best biscuits in the world, dude. I know that happened. That happened.
Best biscuits in the world. And then Milli Vanilli. What are they gonna lip sync? They're gonna lip sync on the.
Well, I don't know, but it was on Fox News, and that's what he was talking about. And I was fucking dying. Like I was like on the inside, because like I didn't want to stick my biscuit. You know what I'm saying? So I was hell yeah, can't wait. Or whatever. Fucking totally worth the biscuit, by the way. But it's like, yeah, it's fucking weird, dude. It's so surreal. It's so surreal. A weird time to be alive, dude. Wow, it's just so bizarre.
I think that's why a few weeks ago, and I was like, you think about the alternate reality for real though? Is I feel like that's what's happened. Is it's gotten so bizarre. I'm like, how is this the regular one, the normal one? How is this not askew?
Right, exactly. I thought about that, and there's another podcast that I listen to called Acid Marxist. If anybody wants to check it out, it's really good. Very highbrow. Very. Sometimes I have to stop it and look up terms that they like at the Wikipedia or whatever. Look up the dictionary for like words that they're using, because it's like way over my head, like super intellectual, fucking crazy. But they were talking about time travel and science fiction, and it's like this all comes from a place of like regret and shame, and like just the idea of time travel in and of itself. Dude, it was deep. It was crazy. I'll never be able 100 years be able to describe how they broke it down. It's like take all these like time travel movies, like, dude, name one, and they were like breaking it down, and they were like basically breaking down the concept of time travel, and especially time travel in cinema, to basically like this comes out of like regret and shame.
Of course, why would you ever want to go to a different time if your time was good? Exactly. Yeah, why would you ever want to leave and go back and or go forward, or to be in any other place than you are currently right now if right now is good? Right, of course. Exactly. Yeah. The regret and the shame is how things in the past were, and your hope that there is a way to fix something that big, because everything starts small, right? That's kind of what the concept behind it is then everything, any movement starts small and gets bigger and bigger. I mean, that's why everybody could, I'm going to go back and kill Hitler as a baby. That's the hacky thing everybody always says, right? But I think all of that stems from wanting to be able to be there to make a difference. And you don't feel as though, as a result of things that have happened over time, you don't feel as an individual you have the opportunity to do that. And that's what time travel does, is it empowers someone who is powerless.
Right. But you know what? That's okay. I feel, honestly, I know this might be weird. It might sound weird, but like, I'm totally excited to live in this timeline. I'm totally excited to find out what happens. I am like, this is on the edge of my seat. Like, what the fuck? like even though I know what's going on, it's like an intense thriller, like dude, like one of the bit
Mhm.
like, and you can kind of judge from history, and there's some points, and you can kind of like make like different type of you hear that hawk? Ooh, I hope you're not trying to get my duckies.
Oh.
But or my chickens. But dude, like I want to live in this timeline. I want to know how this shit ends up as
Mhm.
far as I can get to like to see how it happens, how it evolves, how it moves, like being a part of such a massive part of history, even though I'm just like one person and just a tiny speck of like I am really interested in how this fucking ends.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you want to finish the book?
I want to finish the fucking book, man. And I guess you never really finish it. There's no way to fucking finish it, right?
Right.
But like, dude, like all that we have already seen, and just in my lifetime as a 46-year-old man, like all the things that I've discovered, that I've seen, uh, unravel, you know.
Mhm.
And again, it goes back to this thing of like finding that place where you can observe and you don't absorb. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You like accept the reality of like of really just being just an observer, a passerby in this magnificent, this magnificent uh, tailing of the tale. You know what I'm saying? Unraveling of history with these great civilizations. And, you know, what happens with technology? You know,
Mhm.
can it fucking get to a point where like you really are using this for the betterment of people that's not wrapped in this fucking colonial, not just a betterment of a few, but truly the betterment of the world to create something and the universe, even maybe even. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Mhm.
But yeah,
I'm just imagining a dude in Rome going, I'm honestly glad I'm hearing to see the fall. Like I think
yeah, yeah. There were plenty of dudes, and dude, they were writing it down.
it is awful what is happening, but god damn it, if I'm
Dude,
not happy I'm here to witness it. Fuck.
absolutely horrifying to the point where
Mhm.
like truly I had to completely get off social media because you just can't block all the dead bodies that's on that motherfucker, dude. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And it's just not good for my health, you know, my mental health. So like um and that in also is just I don't but uh but yeah, man, there were definitely people out there, you know what I'm saying? They were writing their histories, they were experiencing it, they were watching the fall, dude, and they were like, what they were just what's gonna happen next? This is crazy. That
Yeah.
nuts. You know. You
But
don't
don't
want
worry, because in like 100 years, it'll be the cliff notes will be inaccurate and
uh,
completely off.
I, but that's part of why like you've got to like take it back to like just feel like really fortunate in a way. Not for you know, 'cause and the horrors might come right to your doorstep, and you might experience it, and just be like, "Man, I was an idiot." You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, of course it was, but like, but but to be able to, you know, just accept it and see it, and just feel like you're just a part of this thing that is going to be misinterpreted, but you were there to see how is like how will Trump be? How will he be? It's probably bad. You know what I mean? He's
Mhm.
probably, you know what I'm saying, it's probably, well, in history, will very much frown on him, pretty much ruin that. Here's what's even wilder than that is that he had the opportunity, and this is just absolutely true. He had the opportunity to really do a lot of the things that he's doing in negative way and be a hero. Like
Mhm.
if, you know, depending on what happened in Ukraine and all this other stuff and like not
Mhm.
being able to like dude, he really had an opportunity to even being a total piece of shit. You know what I mean? To really
Yeah.
be amongst the greats of the world. And that's wild. That's wild. And it turned history.
Yeah.
out of his hands now. But what do you know?
Yeah, but I think he was never great. That's why I don't even think he saw it like that. You know?
Yeah, maybe if he had just listened to like some of his more.
It all goes back to rich kids ruin everything.
Yeah. And the people around him, obviously, he was picked by the people around him. He's definitely getting,
Sure.
he chose. If he had have just went the old NATO way, the old colonial mindset instead of this new whatever's going on in the new colonial Middle Eastern, whatever that is,
Yeah.
this weird techno colonialism.
Mm-hmm.
He probably could have done it.
I also don't know that he was. I think it was again an opportunistic thing. This would be the Drew argument. Is I think they saw what he could do and then co-opted him. I don't think he was placed. I think this second term, sure. I think at first though, I think he was just genuinely a loose cannon. And
exactly.
And then. And I think in the first term, I think he had the opportunity to be a loose cannon and make things better. Because he was riding on the hope from people going, I'm tired of how this is. New and crazy might just be what we need, right?
Well, it is what we need. I mean, don't have any doubt. He's an anarchist too, just like just in a different way. A very, he believes in capitalism. He doesn't believe in any laws or fucking, not for himself at least.
Right. Mm-hmm. But that's all the megalomania and stuff. That's him believing he's above everything. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know that you get somebody to be great like that with that kind of mindset, because he's only ever thinking about himself. He's not thinking about he's thinking about him right now. He's not thinking about him legacy.
I mean, think about how dumb it is. Like, he had the Venezuela thing, right? He probably could have pulled off getting Greenland as the 51st state without a bullet shot. He probably could have made it happen. Like, so many things he could have made happen, right? That he could have got, would have been known throughout history, especially in Europe, the way that they take over. Like, they are
masterful at revisionist history. Yeah.
Oh my God. So you expand NATO, you expand the territory, you're able to like stop Russia from expand. I like all these things that you could have done by just keeping with your old colonial, but you had to go and fuck with Iran, and good God, now you're, because you thought because you're such a megalomaniac, you thought it was going to be. But how could you possibly believe that? I don't know. It's all so crazy.
Because of all the propaganda over the Bush era, all of the Iraq war stuff from before. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like he believes all of the propaganda that was put out in the U.S. about.
That's how he won, though, was going against Jeb Bush and all them and telling them that Iraq was such a fucked up war. I mean, that's why people loved him. That's why people loved him, is that he was able to like go in front of Jeb Bush and fucking and all these other people and be like, yo, these people wanted you to fucking, one of the biggest disasters of our Iraq war was such a like no one thought he would ever go into fucking Iran because he was fucking ruling on that shit.
Yeah. But I still don't think that he would have taken into consideration that they would have prepared. That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. That's what I'm saying. I think it's crazy for him to be like, I'm just going to do this and then they're going to give us whatever we want and it's going to be done. Like, I think he thought it was going to be like that.
It's unbelievable at this stage in the game, too, that he's talking about taking over Carmen.
He's not even in the game, Deej. He's sleeping through fucking meeting. Like, the man is not in the game.
I don't know if I totally believe that. I do believe at some degree you're right. But I don't know that I totally agree with that.
I mean, you can see his cognitive decline.
But like just for instance, right? You're right.
I think the only thing keeping him alive is his ego. That's the only thing genuinely keeping him alive.
I think it's probably a lot of fear, too.
Fear from what?
Dude, them motherfuckers killing him, dude. Can you imagine being in a situation where it's like, okay, if I don't do what Israel says,
Did you move something? God damn it! You moved something right when you start talking about Israel. It's happened again.
dude, check this out. Israel bombed Lebanon, right? Iran said, yo, fuck that shit. We told you that was a red line. You hit South Beirut, whatever. Then Iran hit Israel, right? What did Trump say? He said, hey, look, we're close to a deal. They just went tit for tat. Look, it's over. End it. That whole neocon section, all the Israeli people, all of it, freaked the fuck out. Freaked the fuck out. And now, like a week later, not even a week later, we're fully back into it because we have to. Over like some weird Apache helicopter. Like, have you seen how big a Shahed drone is? Like, dude, that whole story is crazy. But like anything that they say, like, they got to get back into it, right? Because they got a gun to it. Now, whether it's the Epstein files or we'll kill you and your family and take everything from you or whatever the fuck it is, yo, this motherfucker's hanging on by a thread. And it declined. I mean, there's a part of it that's kind of like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? But there's, fuck yeah, for sure. But like,
Okay, yeah.
What a crazy situation to get yourself into, and you get the whole fucking world into.
Yes,
so
because that's really that's the part for me. I mean, empires rise and fall, and I would be fine with that. But I think it's also the global impact. That's the whole thing, is bringing everybody in on this is also probably one of the most egomaniacal things you could do as well. So
sure,
it all just goes back to it. It all goes back to it.
Sure. Absolutely.
Do you have anything that's gravy so we leave people on? What's gravy?
Ducks, vegetables, cool shit. I can show you guys the ducks right now. There's a lot of poop, but
I mean, baby ducks do be pooping. That's kind of their thing. Oh my god, they're so cute. Oh my god, they're cute little babies. Look at the cute little babies. Make sure you guys are watching on YouTube. That's youtube.com/gravybabypod. Make sure you peep the cute little babies. Join the Discord so you can see the little baby ducks as well. So cute.
yeah. It's just music, art, growing vegetables, raising ducks. Gonna get some microgreens tomorrow. Start get a hydroponic set and start growing microgreens.
Okay. The only thing I ever grown hydroponically was weed. That's the only thing I ever grew in buckets.
Yeah,
But it worked.
I filled out an application up at Cherokee.
Oh hell yeah!
At the dispensary. So I hope to be like a technician there for too long.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, you could
get your shit for cheap. Come on now.
Actually, believe it or not, there's no like discount or anything. It's not like that shit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But then if you learn how to grow your own proper and get what you're looking for, that's really what you want.
That's the point.
Self-sustainable, yeah.
And to get to hang out on the res, like, dude, Cherokee's so cool. What a cool fucking place to like go and have a place that hang out there and kind of get to know like what's up even more. Like, we go down there and just like kind of hang out and like you hang out on the river or whatever down there and on the river walk and like, yeah, a lot of cool places to eat, a lot of cool people to talk to. But you know that there's a bad side, of course. There's a bad side. Of course. Also a casino town, so it's like double trouble. But like, I don't know, man. Maybe not. I don't know. It'd be cool if it happens. I don't care if it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things.
For sure, but why not? Why not learn another skill? That's what we should be doing right now, is collecting skills.
Dude, that's it, and that's what's so awesome. It's like I've kind of like really damped down on like I'm not growing as much this year, so like I'm just specifying it to like some melons, a couple of tomato plants, like a couple of different types of zucchinis, so I can learn how to work the plants. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely more gardening than it is farming, but like I want to learn. When you grow so much and so many different things, so many different varieties of things, you don't really have time.
It's hard to cultivate. Yeah, proper. I get it. Can't give them all the attention.
Right. And with the microgreens and stuff, you know, we take those down to the farmers market. So that's like an in there. So like just learning all that stuff is just so cool. Just like learning new stuff is just so cool, man. It's just, yeah, you're right. Yeah, learn new stuff.
Good stuff. You heard it here first, folks. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you guys patreon.com/gravybabypod. We appreciate y'all very much. Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember to write a review to tell Drew to stop smoking. And what you got?
Start smoking. Tell them to start smoking. Listen, also, a bunch of people have hit me up, and dude, like, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know where the thing's happening at Silva. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I know I'm getting picked up. I know we're gonna go hang out in the river and then eat some food. But it's Sean Bridgers. He's in Silva. He's doing the thing that's on the 18th. I think it starts at like 6:30 or something. I don't know where it is. I have no information.
Nice.
I'm just going to, so I'm sorry. I know a lot of people have like hit me up. I don't know. I don't even know how many people are going to be in there. And like, I don't know if Trey, I don't know. I have no information. I'm going to hang out with Drew. I'll give you a big old hug if you see me come up. But like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And
I don't even know what you're talking about, so I don't have any information either.
I do think Trey's going to be there, but like, maybe not. Like, cause he's got another thing in close to here, but like, he might not. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Nice.
And I'll never know. I'm not trying to know. I like, want to know. I don't care. I'm sorry. I cannot help you. I cannot help you.
What a way to end it.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,